very good evening from the Sengkang Hockey Stadium in Singapore for the first of two test matches between Singapore women and Thailand women. And in between, we will have the men playing tomorrow night, and they will be playing then the last night on Thursday evening. Two tests again between Singapore and Thailand. We hope that you're going to enjoy all of the action. Teams have just gone through their warm-ups, and we're just waiting for them to head out onto the pitch. My name's Ashley Morrison. I'll be sharing all of the action with you tonight, and really looking forward to it on a warm, sultry night here in Singapore. Well, if we turn our attention to the Singapore lineup, and I can tell you we're showing the whole squad because obviously as the home team, they're looking to utilise all of their players and get as many of them game time as possible. But I can tell you that Taylor Liu is starting in goal, and then also starting tonight are Patricia Cholera, and then we have Felicia Tanandika, Jolene Ng, Diana Ong, Kwek Xiao Chien. Then we have Nadia Ong, Amani Shari, Ho Pui, Saban Nural Safia, Joanna Hajarat. We have Shuba Manimaran, Evadni Tanandika, Cheryl Chia. Felicia Lay is also one of the goalkeepers, Emma Liu, and then we also have Tiffany Ong and Chloe Lowe. And then we turn our attention now to the Thai team. And the players I think you need to look out for them who we've seen in action before. Certainly you look out for Chenjira wearing number 3. She's one of the exciting young players. Sudarat wearing number 8 is another one to look out for. Supansa Sumanso wearing 13 is always lively for them. And their captain Ananat wearing number 16 is another player that you'll be expecting big things from tonight as we see the players coming out onto the field of play. We're just waiting to see if there are going to be national anthems. We were trying to find out if there will be. Not quite sure at the moment if there will be. But they are going to line up across the centre of the pitch. So we may well still have... They're just going to run through the teams here. Can tell you, of course, that the umpires shortly.
Number 8, Sudarat Nokio. Number 9, Arucha Kolowit. Number 10, Tanapon Kamnon.
Just doing the announcing. Well, I can tell you that Singapore recently just played in the Hong Kong Invitational, and they were playing there. They came second in that tournament, which is a good finish. They played 3, won 2, lost 1. Their sole defeat coming to the hosts, Hong Kong. But again, it would have given them confidence coming into these matches. And I can just tell you now, the officials for this match, I just had them a second ago, and I've lost them now, but I will get them back. And we have the umpires are Sean Goh and Valerie Coe. Now they're just running through again the other team. Not a very big crowd at the moment, but they're certainly making plenty of noise for the home team, which is what you would hope. And of course, Singapore at the moment ranked 30th in the world. Thailand just one spot above them at 29th. And of course, this is one of the issues with the new world ranking system, is if you don't play games, you tend to stay very static, and a lot of these nations don't get too many games, so therefore they can't move up the world rankings by gaining a victory, because every game now is worth world ranking points, whereas the sort of richer nations or the higher ranked nations tend to play a little bit more hockey, so every game they're playing, they're gaining points, or maybe in some occasions losing points. So that means that these teams really need to be playing a little bit more if they can, but then that comes down to cost and sponsors, and there's so many other things there.
At this point, we would like to announce a milestone presentation, playing her 50th international.
So we have a 50th game being played tonight. So Tiffany Ong playing her 50th match. And Tiffany Ong, what a special athlete she is. She's a triple international for Singapore, having played floorball for them, having played international hockey, and this is her 50th cap and she's also played ice hockey for Singapore. So a very, very special athlete. And I have been told she's actually quite a handy footballer as well. So always nice to see milestones recognised. And I can tell you 50 games for a country like Singapore is the equivalent to about 200 for one of the top nations, because again, just the volume of games they play. Some of these players have been playing for the national team for 8 to 10 years. And so it takes a while to get to 100 caps. Whereas if you play 10 years for the Netherlands, Australia, Belgium, even Great Britain or England, you'd soon get to 200 caps if you were playing 10 years. Now both teams going into a final huddle. As we see the Thai team there, standing tall in the middle. Natakan, she's had 76 caps for her country.
From Singapore, Sean Goh.
And the Singapore team have broken up from their huddle as they take up their positions now on the field of play. So nothing to choose in the world rankings between these two, so it'll be a really interesting game. And of course Thailand didn't play in the Hong Kong Invitational, so Singapore have had a little bit more game time in recent times than their opponents tonight. Certainly plenty of smiles on the faces of both sets of players. Looking forward, I think, to getting underway. I saw the Thai players coming off the bus and they were, well, just very happy, I have to say. They were joking around and big smiles, but I mean, Thailand is described as the land of 1,000 smiles, or is it 1,000,000 smiles? I think it's 1,000,000. But certainly they were living up to their nation's reputation. So Singapore get us underway in the red. Ball played back immediately to Ho Pui, former captain of the Singapore national team. Cutting infield. Look at the defence, though, from Thailand. Stolen away, but illegally is the call. Penalised immediately is Sudarat. Now it is with the captain of Singapore. That was Sophia. And just using the first names in most cases, because that is the way things are done up here. They like to have the first name rather than the surname. I was talking to one of the players earlier, and that was how they said it's done. Nice little work down the right-hand side, that time from Felicia. Played in from the side, and didn't go 5 meters before it was played into the circle. So an easy free hit now for Thailand. Coming across to take it is Songkran. Plays it to herself, almost lost it back behind her. Centre of the circle. That's a good block coming in that time by Cheryl Chia. One back by Singapore, determined to go back on the attack. Good driving run coming that time from Joanna. Stolen away again. Good work being done by Natakan. Back into the defensive line it goes again. Cheryl Chia coming across, closing off. Mistake at the back. Well, Cheryl was free, and it's going to be a penalty corner. She appealed for it in the end, but good work by Singapore to get things underway, and they get the first penalty corner of the match. So a really good chance for them to take the lead. And I have to say, watching them warming up with their penalty corners, they weren't going particularly well. So it's all going to have to click this time. Maybe that was a bit of bluff with the Thai players watching on. We'll have to wait and see. So just sorting out who's going where. Jolene Ng is at the second battery. Comes around to Ng. Good block. Cleared outside the circle up to halfway. And out of play it will go. So played in there from the side by Patricia Collar up, crossfield ball. Again, it's cut out well by Thailand. Short pass goes to Kunjira. Just a little bit off target with her pass forward, aiming for the run coming from Sudarat. So again, played in from the side, square this time from Patricia. Out it goes again, this time from Sophia, the captain. Lost in the midfield, one back. That was good work being done, and now it's picked up by Felicia Tanandika. Strong on the ball. She did well to win that one back. That was Dania Ong. That was Amani Sharif. Wins the free hit up from the side. Nice little dummy from her. Took her past one. Came all the way off the stick of Suapat. And now there's a chance to break forward again for the Thais. Natakan on the ball. Just holding it up, looking to come square, but helping out now coming forward is, I think it's Harucha. No, it's actually Genchira. A lovely pass by her. And that's a free hit just outside the D1 by Sudarat. Sudarat plays it back this time to Tepawan. Tepawan, across the circle it goes, but it just couldn't be brought under control that time by Natakan. So a good first attack coming from Thailand. They've been hemmed inside their own half pretty much for the first 3.5 minutes or so. And just got to obviously keep an eye on that Singapore. They don't want to allow Thailand too much time on the ball. Intercepted again, good work by Suapat. She's kept it under control, driving forward, tries to cut infield. It was a good tackle that time again in the midfield by Singapore, but it's still with Thailand a little bit too far ahead that time of the run from Kunjira. But really good work in the midfield coming from Felicia. She's calling for the ball. Certainly up for the game tonight. Stolen in defence that time by Thailand. Supanza plays it out wide onto the right, drops back now in the hole. Good pass forward to Genchira. Comes again back to Supanza. Genchira. Plenty of space on the left, just pushed back that time by Tepawan. Supanza. Genchira allowed to turn on halfway, stolen away in the end. Good tackle coming in by Joanna, feeding it forward. Almost lost possession as it just got stuck under the stick, but it was good work again being done by Felicia. So Felicia Tanandika, who was involved with Jansenites Hockey Club here in Singapore. I think she still might be actually. But it's a free hit now to Thailand. 5.5 minutes gone, still no goals at all yet. We've had one penalty corner to Singapore. Tried to throw that to the air and threw it straight into Nadia Ong. So the free hit taken quickly by Singapore. Edging towards the circle, into the circle they go, but good clearing up at the back by Thailand. Pass just didn't have too much on it that time from Shuba. Thailand with a free hit on about the 16-metre mark. On the sideline, rather. Did that catch the foot? I thought it did. The whistle goes, so it was a foot. Free hit to Thailand. Now, the last time these two met was in a pool game at the SEA Games in 2023. And that was a 1-0 victory to Singapore. Valerie Sim scoring the goal. And of course the SEA Games coming up again at the end of this year in Thailand. So again, Thailand will want to be amongst the medals. They will hope to be vying for the silver or the gold. And Singapore, of course, will also be hoping that they are in that final match as well, as they've tended to be fairly strong in the SEA Games, although I believe they're building for when they host it in 2029. That's the games where they're hoping they can get double gold. Good work done down the right-hand side by Trinité. And again, we see tenacity coming from Felicia. She's the sort of player you want in the midfield that is just always battling for the ball, closing down, and a lot of the time coming up with the ball. Plenty of space given, just allowed to run forward with the ball. Picked up cleanly that time is Natakan. Natakan cutting in towards the circle. Natakan into the circle, and well, there was no touch from the Singapore stick, so it will be a 16. And I can tell you the cheering there is from the Thailand men who are here down watching their team. Came on the bus with the women. Great to see that camaraderie between the two teams. Carried forward again by Thailand into the circle, deflected up. Well, penalty corner given. There's no referral, but that to me was a little bit fortunate because I thought Ananat lifted it up off her stick and it went above the knee into the Singapore player. But the penalty corner has been given, and so the first penalty corner for Thailand. And Singapore may feel a little aggrieved that it's gone against them. Making her way to the baseline is Kunjira. Waiting. Trinité. He's waiting at the top of the circle. Supansa Samanso is at the first battery. And it's a variation. Good stop in front of the goalkeeper. And strong stick work coming in that time. Natakan prevented from getting the shot away. Well, everyone thought it was going to Supansa, but it was slipped back through the legs. So good variation by Thailand. Good defensive work by Singapore. I think, to be fair, Taylor Liu had it covered. Taylor Liu, the goalkeeper for Singapore, started playing hockey as recently as 2015. She played in the Hong Kong Invitational as well, so fresh from that about a week ago. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Thailand on the ball again. Comes wide, a little bit of space found that time by Tepewan. Feeds it forward. And was that a foot? No, it was all stick, says the umpire, who was well placed. Singapore carry it out. Trying to turn is Felicia. Felicia again doing well. Good stick work shown by her. Dinks it down the line. Lovely little bit to play that time to pick out Shuba. That turned over. Supansa. Goes back to Supansa again. Goes infield. Good pick up this time by Suapat. Plays it forward and appeals from Natakan that it caught the body on the way through. But it was a very muted appeal, to be honest. It was just a quick plea with the umpire, then get on with play. And that's a very good pass, squeezing it through and taken away from Kunjira. And Singapore's defence is determined tonight. Although they've got it back again, it's Natakan. Feeds it again, into the circle it goes. Thailand have it, scrambling defence again, and the free hit goes the way of Singapore. Stick check, says the umpire, and again, I have to say I agree with him. And there was another one coming in from Supansa. I'm still wanting a little bit of a conversation, just saying that that was back there. Natakan playing the ball back. He needs to be careful doing that one. Taken forward by Patricia. Played it through the middle and plenty of ooze. It's stolen away brilliantly, though, in the midfield. Dana Ong, wow, just stopped that time. It just caught Songkran. It's a free hit inside the 23 for Singapore. Played out wide now. Chance to get it into the circle. Took a slight deflection, and as that found the foot, it has indeed. So it was a good ball played in by Emma Liu. Emma Liu, just 15 years of age, making a debut tonight. So big night for her, and she's won her team a penalty corner. Emma Liu plays for the Singapore Cricket Club here in Singapore. Should be fairly obvious with a name like that it's in Singapore. It's a second penalty corner, lining up at the first battery. It's Tiffany Ong. Can she get a goal on her 50th? I think she's actually at the second battery. It's going to come to her anyway. Plays it towards the goal. Great work again by the Thai defence. Just getting ahead of the Thai attacker. I mean, the Singapore attacker. That was great work by, not Suraya, because Suraya's the goalkeeper. I think it must have been Anonat, the captain, in fact. Yes. Singapore, though, have the ball again. Tiffany Ong drills it forward. Nobody on that line, though. So Thailand carrying it forward. We've got 3 minutes left in the first quarter. No goals as yet. Both teams, though, with several circle penetrations. Just trying to find a way through at the moment, but so far neither goalkeeper's really had a save to make. It's been good defence in front of them as Natakorn just holds it up outside the 23 for Thailand. Nice turn again coming that time by Songkran. Feeds it down the line to Natakan, deflected outside the circle, or the 23. Suapat plays it forward. Played in again. It was a clever ball on the upright reverse. That was Tepewan playing that clever pass. It's going to be a ball from the side, though, for Thailand. Taken quickly. Good work again by Suapat. Squeezed it along the baseline. But unfortunately that time, Suapat couldn't keep it in play. We've got 2 balls on the pitch, so one will just roll to the umpire, who harmlessly throws it out of play. Oh, that was a very difficult pass. Omani had very little chance of keeping that in play. Good work again by Thailand across the D. Good touch coming off of Taylor Liu. Deflected it away from the goal and picked up by a teammate. So good work. Dana Ong was the player cleaning up at the back after the deflection from Taylor Liu. Kunjira, though, making a little bit of space as she went into the circle. And not cleared that effectively. So it'll be Thailand ball. Sapanza comes forward to take it from the side. Just under a minute and a half left in this first quarter. Trying to come in now from the left-hand side is Kunjira. Tried to lift it up, and the free hit goes against her. And she thought it was a free hit for her. So again, played up to the halfway line. Cheryl Chia gets the ball from the side, plays a good ball forward, and in behind the defence. Just needs someone to lay it back. That's good goalkeeping. Coming off a line really quickly was Watsana. You just found that was a really good opening for Singapore. But there was nobody coming through at the top of the circle, so it was very hard to play it into that space. And that meant that Watsana Setan could come out and close down the angle. Now dropping back, giving an option, was Sophia, but dallied on the ball at the top of the circle. Great tackle, Amani. And just on her heels, though, recovered almost well just to get the touch, was Diana Ong. But the free hit is going to go Thailand's way, but we're out of time as the hooter is gone for the end of the first quarter. And as the players head in for the first break, I can tell you that the score is Thailand 0, Singapore 0. The players coming back out now for the second quarter. And the ball girls just breaking up. They were giving us a big smile a little bit earlier during that quarter-time break. And just down below us, we have the Thai men. They're all in their shirts, and I think one of the Thai hockey officials obviously just telling them how important it is they represent their nation here. So far, I'd say it was pretty even-steven in this match after the first 15 minutes. Singapore came out strongly. Thailand came back strongly in the second half of the first quarter. But both defences look pretty solid. Well, I say solid, but it was some good last-minute tackles going in. So the defence, I'm sure the coaches would be a little bit higher up the pitch to stop those attacks getting so far forward. Strong tackle coming in the midfield. Pushed forward, good pass finding Sudarat. Sudarat cutting infield. Was she impeded? Great work coming back. Really good work by Diana Ong. The top of the circle though, and it's stolen away, is it? Natakan has won a penalty corner for Thailand right at the start of the second quarter. So Thailand get their second penalty corner, and listen to the men cheering them there. So is this where we're going to see the deadlock broken? It was really good work coming in from the left-hand side by Sudarat. Kunjira goes to the baseline. Supanza again is waiting at the first battery. Anonat is at the second, although I don't think she's going to make a run forward. Sitting alongside her is Trinita. I'm sure they might do another variation. The defence are ready in goal for Singapore. Played to the top of the circle, through the legs it comes. Anonat drills it, hit the post, and it's rebounded. Singapore scrambling to try and get away. Good save again. Coming off her line, that was Taylor Liu. Really good save from her, because the defence was caught a little bit there. So Thailand hit the post right at the start of this second quarter. So that's the closest we've come to a goal so far, as Singapore look to go on the attack. Diana, just a touch coming in, an important touch from Suapat. Thailand though, steal it back, infield it goes. Just had a really good line coming forward. Good work again coming from Amani. Amani has really good stick work, but she just lifted that, and bending at the time was Suapat, so it became dangerous. Now again, it's a good run coming from Natakan. Natakan cuts back, it's broken free inside the circle, still loose. Thailand get a shot away, it's gone wide. So close. Oh, that time Singapore just could not get it away. So Thailand just certainly seemed to have started this second quarter with a little bit more urgency about their game. And that's caught the foot wide on the left-hand side. Sophia, the captain, will not be happy about that. I think it was Kunjira who had the shot. Supanza, wow, trying the angle pass, real determination to try and get on the end of that one from Natakan. Natakan, who played Singapore now 7 times, has won 6 and lost 1. So she'll be hoping she can keep that winning run going in the 2 test matches here in 2025. Good turn again. Thought there was a little bit of a stick check that time on Felicia, but Thailand got away with that. Breaking forward again through the midfield. Good touch coming in from Chenchira. Stolen away now, and there's a chance for Thailand. It's 3-on-3 at the back. And it comes to Natakorn. Natakorn, good run through the middle. She didn't manage to get the pass away. Good recovery coming back. That was really good recovery coming back defensively by Singapore. That was Diana Ong again. So she's got through plenty of work tonight. Diana Ong, the younger of the two Ong sisters. Nadia is the other. Played for the under-21s together in 2024. The first time the two sisters had actually played for the same team together, from what I've been told. Special moment, no doubt, because I know that Diana looks up to her sister rather, Nadia. Well, that was a blind pass that time. Nobody in that channel. Pass coming from Tepiwan. Tepiwan with some serious strapping on her left knee. So smashed forward that time by Sophia, the captain. And it's one back in the midfield. It was good work by Chenchira. Now a little bit of space for Suapat. Suapat looking to drill it through the middle and took out her own player, Trub, sadly. And that was a painful blow. It looked as if it caught her just on the ankle as she was jumping to try and get out of the way. The Thais are tough. Up on their feet. Now that was struck with some venom. And just again, the angle wrong for Singapore. And they put themselves back under pressure. Played in from the side by Tepiwan, trying to feed it forward. Good steal coming from Joanna. But unfortunately, she took her eye off the ball. And it rolled over the sideline. Steals it back, though. What good work by Joanna, but this time can't keep it in place. Sees the funny side. Good to see. And the Thai is cheering again. Suapat over the ball. Plays it back this time to Tepiwan. Back to Suapat, who had to get her foot out of the way pretty quickly. Short pass, in it goes, and stolen again. Good defensive work being done this time by Patricia. And they won the free hit. So good to see. Determination coming from Singapore. They made a couple of mistakes, but they keep battling. Turned over again, though, as they're trying to play out. Free hit is going to be Thailand's, and it was taken from the wrong spot, so Anana, the captain, she's turned it over now. So a lot of turnovers from both sides at the moment. Great work coming out of defence again. Good this time coming from Jolene Ng. And really good as well through the middle. And that might go all the way through. That was a good pass from... And it was Joanna playing it forward in the end. Jolene Ng, so I've been told her nickname is the Bulldozer. She showed a little bit more artistry than most bulldozers I've seen. That was a good little bit of skill from her as she pulled away from the Thai players to create that attack for Singapore. Ooh, a nice bounce for Thailand. Palichat, and across the face of goal it goes. Well, you'd have to say that Taylor Liu had that covered, but a really good opportunity for Thailand again, down the left-hand side. Player just drifting in behind the defence, wasn't picked up. The defender in front. That's a lovely pass forward again. A little bit of space now for Joanna. Joanna's used that space well. Top of the circle, nice little touch, held her up. Did she find the foot? Well, no, she didn't, and it was all stick, says the umpire. Tiffany Ong, though, is going to be penalised for her challenge. And again, it's a good touch by Singapore as they look to put pressure on now. Slightly misdirected pass, a little bit of a push as well coming from Evadni. They've won it back. Good determination from Singapore. A little bit too long on the ball there and easily taken away. A little stick poke took that one away that time from Sophia. I mean, it's Tiffany Ong rather, not Sophia. Anna, who just got the touch. Ball coming again to Shuba. Ananat steals it, bounces it forward on her stick. Natakan is just down the line. She feeds her, but it was under the stick. It went over the baseline. Well, both teams, the game certainly has opened up in this second quarter with just over 6.5 minutes remaining before we go into the half-time break. Nice turn from Avadni, but played the ball infield, and again it's Ananat plays it towards, off the pads of Liu. Where's it gone? It's stuck underneath the goalkeeper, penalty corner. Well, in the end, Taylor Liu did well, but Thailand win their third penalty corner of the match. Will it be third time lucky? And it is a very warm, sticky night here. I suppose most of these players are used to this heat. I mean, even in Thailand, it is similar temperatures. So again, making her way to the baseline is Kunjira. Supanza at the first battery. Ananat will wait at the second. And you wonder whether they'll try a similar variation, where they've tried to go to Ananat a couple of times. It's a trap, Supanza this time. Oh, it's off the post again, and it will be another penalty corner. Well, Thailand must be wondering what they've got to do to score. Supanza hits the post again. So it was Ananat last time, Supanza this time. A penalty corner number 4 for Thailand. Supanza just wringing her hand. I don't know if you could see that in shot. Just shaking it out. Must have just got a stick on it. Trapped again. Supanza. Good. Well, it's a great block, in fact. It's going to be another penalty corner. There was just a little bit of a hesitation there. Sophia is the player penalised. We've got a Thai player down injured. It would just look like, to me, the Thai player was coming in for the deflection. Sophia got there a little bit ahead of her. Is it going to be another penalty corner? I think it might be. Certainly Singapore players are putting on their protective gear, trying to just see who the player is down. Certainly, we've got to hope it's nothing too serious. Looks like it's Suapat who is the player down. She's getting to her feet on her own, which is good to see. Now being helped from the field of play. So we'll just have to keep our eyes on that, whether Suapat comes back out. Suapat made her debut for Thailand back in 2017 at the Hockey World League Round 2 in Kuala Lumpur. So penalty corner number 5 for Thailand. Still no goals though. A big discussion with the umpires, and in fact it isn't going to be a penalty corner. It is going to be the free out that was originally awarded. I think the umpires were just explaining to the captain, Ananat, what that was about. Ananat, who represented Thailand at the Hockey Fives World Cup. Of course, Thailand did very well at the Indoor World Cup in Croatia. First Asian team to get into the quarterfinals. So congratulations to all involved with that. That can only be good for Asian hockey in the main. Supanza now on halfway. Good work being held up there. Look for a foot, appeals for the foot, and no denying coming from the Singapore player Joanna. Supanza's stolen a good metre. It was inside her own half. She now throws it to the air. Oh! Well, I thought that was heading towards goal. Sudarat with almost an audacious little pull shot if it was cricket, but was almost like a little stab shot coming from her. And that caught the foot, unfortunately, for Evadny. I think we're going to go with the ball from the side, which is... No, it's going to be further forward. It's going to be the free hit. Natakorn wants to leave it. She wants to get into an attacking position, but is now going to have to take it. Going on an overlapping run down the side, but wasn't needed as the ball comes to Arucha. And I think that's Arucha again, turning. Gets a free hit. Good work by her. Trying to find a way into the circle. Lovely turn, but tumbling as she did so and lost the ball over the baseline. Sudarat. Sudaratu actually made her debut against Singapore back in 2019. And that was in Bangkok. So you always remember the teams you make your debut against. Lives with you for a very long time. I think you also remember how you went as well, probably better than a lot of the other games that you play after that. Supanza now carries it forward, slips the ball blindly to the left-hand side. Played forward again, kept in play just inside the circle by Thailand. Good work being done that time by Amani. And Singapore determined, just edging their way along the sideline. Stolen back though by Thailand. 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Are we going to see a goal before the first break? Comes across now, Chenjira, straight down the middle. Took a deflection. Is it going to be a long corner? No, it's a 16, says the umpire. Thailand a little bit miffed. I think they thought there was a touch on the way through. And they have now got the long corner. But it's a little bit towards our commentary position, and they're moving across this way. Anana, the captain, self passes. And did that get a touch? No, it didn't. Certainly the Singapore supporters were all very adamant there was no touch. And a real tussle going on the far side. And eventually running out of space. So Singapore ball. Comes back now. Played it forward by Songkran. But won by Singapore in the midfield. We haven't seen an attack for them for a while. Collecting that, helping it forward too much on that and making sure it goes away from goal. There's Watsana. Singapore again, looking to come forward. Looking for the touch that time. It was Patricia's ball forward, but unfortunately nobody able to get a touch inside the circle and keep the attack alive. They've got 1.5 minutes left now till half time. Again, I was talking to one of the players and they were saying very difficult at this level in countries like Singapore because, again, they've all got jobs and they have to take time off work to play for the national team. So it is a real commitment by them. So apart from training with their clubs, some of them were doing, they said, 15 to 20 hours extra training a week. Played back that time by Chenchira. Supanza feeds it into the midfield. Good work again coming from Jolene Ng. Feeding it forward. And just really the run in from the left was not the run that was needed, unfortunately. Joanna just cut infield when it might have been better if she just pulled away. Just got a little bit cramped there as Cheryl Cheer was trying to feed it to her. Anana again taking up a good position, gets the return pass. She's a live wire, chasing back, closing her down was Felicia. Came off the foot though. just outside the circle. It's been given as a long corner, so maybe it was off the stick. 8 seconds. They're not going to get time to get it in. Natakan is over the ball. 4 seconds. She needs to get it in real quick. And this will be too late. There goes the hooter. So under a lot of pressure in that second quarter, Singapore have stood tall and managed to keep Thailand at bay. Hadn't had too many attacks of their own. Good work by Taylor Liu in goal. She came to their rescue a couple of times. And as we head into half-time, it is Singapore 0, Thailand 0. Well, the Thai players emerging from the dressing rooms ready to get the second half underway. 0-0 at the moment in this first match. Of course, there will be a second game played on Wednesday between these two teams. Same time, and we will be live streaming that as well. So make sure you tell your friends and we get as many of you tuning in as possible. And I think so far it's been a pretty exciting game. Could go either way. I know that sounds like a cliche, but both teams have really been in it. Thailand dominated definitely the second quarter, but I'm sure that Henry Wong would have had a good chat with the players and worked out a few things to make sure that they come out his Singapore charges in this third quarter and just snuff out a few of those attacks. It just strikes me that occasionally Singapore defence just pushing up and Thailand sneaking in around the back. And when they do find those players wide, that's where they're causing a few problems. But the covering defence has been pretty good for Singapore so far. And then just maybe some of their attacking passes just haven't stuck. And maybe just pushing them a little bit too hard or whatever. It's often the case if you're a little bit nervous, the adrenaline's pumping. Well, Joanna looks as if she's had her thigh strapped during that break, so that is a bit of a worry for Singapore, and certainly watching her move coming out for the start of this second half. You can see just nearest the camera, the Singapore player on the left, heavy strapping on that right thigh, which wasn't there in the first half, as Thailand get us underway. Thrown high and wide and missed by Singapore. Chenchira throwing that wide, but it'll be Singapore's ball, played on quickly by Amani. Down the line she goes, but just lifted it dangerously and it went into the body of her teammate. So Thailand with a free hit now just inside. Or is it going to, yeah, it's going to be back on halfway. They've taken it back to the 23. Umpire bringing it back to halfway. And a good press coming from Singapore. Anna, that's a rare mistake from her, turning over in the midfield. Determined running coming that time from Chloe Lowe. And it's Thailand being pushed back. Good work again that time by Cheryl Cheer. And played forward by Thailand, and all the forwards' hands went on their heads. You didn't see it on screen, but all went in unison. It was almost like a choreographed dance routine. Oh dear, and that's just been lifted up into the face. And again, pleased to see Songkran appears to be okay. She's just having a face checked by a teammate. Supansa. The hockey players really do make some of the athletes and some of the other sports look rather silly when they take blows like that to the face and literally just get on with it. It's one of the great things about the game, actually, that there's no fooling around on the ground. Natakan, that's a good block to stop her getting a really good second block coming in as well. That was really good play. And a third block coming. I think that was Hopeway with those three blocks. So really good play by her former captain, student at the James Cook University in Singapore. Well, she was anyway. She's finished her degree now. Look at the space, but just too far ahead of Songkran. Songkran was doing everything she could to get onto that pass. Down the line it goes, but there was nobody in that space. Songkran is being put under pressure. Good work being done, really bustling there from Felicia. Singapore have got it back and again just played behind them, and unfortunately Felicia Had her back to the ball. And Thailand will get that pass. They just drifted in, as I said, in again behind the defence. Good work being done by Sudarat. It's a long corner. Sudarat's gone to get a ball, but there's already one come on from the side. Over the ball now is Trinita. Plays it wide. Tanapon. Tanapon beats one. Looks to get it into the circle, deflected out. It'll be another long corner for Thailand. It's being told where to take it, directly opposite where it crossed the baseline. Ananat plays it back to Supanza. Good defensive work on the edge of the circle. That was Diana. Diana makes a run forward now. Wanting an early pass would have been great because she was in acres of space. Amani. Amani being held up this time by Suapat. Amani, though, stick skills are good and she keeps possession well. Thailand, though, put on the pressure and they've won a free hit. Here they come now on the attack. Surging forward, laid to the top of the circle. Nobody there. Should be collected now by Jolene. Jolene loses out, but managed to find the foot that time of Trinita. Jolene plays on with it quickly. Nice turn, and the ball is played out wide now for a chance for Joanna to run forward. Joanna tries to slip it forward. Did it catch the shins? No, it didn't. It was all stick, says the umpire. The intensity certainly seems to have lifted a little bit. Trinita slipped it out wide. Good pressure from Amani to stop Sudarat getting a clean touch. Played out wide now by Patricia. And forward it goes. And just the touch, unfortunately, couldn't get it to stick on the end of her stick. Good break again, or willing run from Natakan, but unable to get on the end of it. But the defence just doesn't see her when she makes those runs. She does very clever runs along the defensive line and just drifts in behind them. And if the ball comes to her, she's got about 3 or 4 meters lead already. Strong running in the midfield again, this time coming from Jolene. And Jolene will get a free hit for Singapore. Plays it square. There's a little bit of space now for Singapore. Drilled in. Deflected wide. Good awareness again from Felicia. She got the ball from Jolene early, and she was aware that Thailand were a little bit short at the back, and the short pass that time, though, well read by Sudarat, and it'll be Ananat who gets it, keeps it in play. Oh, she didn't in the end. She's claiming there was a touch, but I don't think there was. It was... And got to stop the ball. Certainly Felicia wanting to get on with things really quickly. Started playing in 2013, so stolen away as she tried to play it infield then. Good steal coming again from Sudarat. Now breaking forward for Thailand. Kunjira into the circle, goes reverse stick. Great block coming in and a painful blow. That was Kwek Xiao Chan. Really good tackle from her. Into the foot it goes. It'll be another free hit to Thailand. And again, it's Kwek coming out, closing down. So Thailand in an attacking position again. We're approaching the halfway stage of the third quarter. Singapore holding firm at the moment. It was almost very good defensive work being done again by Felicia. And it's a 16, but there's 2 balls on the pitch. Ananat again, quite clever there. She knew there was another ball, but just did not play the other one off the field of play. Just killed a few seconds there. Deflection came off the tie stick, but it'll be cleaned up at the back. Good work being done that time by Songkran. Into the midfield, a lovely turn again from Ananat. And a penalty corner goes the way of Thailand. This will be their 5th penalty corner. But it is their first of the second half. So can they find a goal from somewhere? Or will Singapore manage to keep them at bay? I should let you know Singapore changed their goalkeeper at half-time. So Felicia Lay is in goal. Supanza again at the first battery for Thailand. Felicia Lay is offset to the right a long way. Supanza flicks this stump. Good save by Lay. Superb. Threw up the left hand and parried it wide as that was heading into the roof of the net. Really good save. And superb play when you think she's only just come on at the start of the second half. So that is a goalkeeper that's really got in the right space, which is not easy when you come on at half-time and have to pick up the pace of a game. Stolen away again by Thailand. Into the circle it goes, in front of goal. Felicia Lay denies them again, blocks a second time, trying to get it towards goal. It pulls it out, and again I think Lay with the save, even though it was lifted. Well, Felicia Lay, two really great saves to deny Suapat. Suapat on the ball again, short pass from her. They're into the circle once more, and it's Lay at a near post that just manages to kick that one wide, and it'll be another long corner for Thailand. So good pressure from the Thai team. Supanza. Nice little shimmy from her. Got her some space. That's gone off the Thai stick, so it'll be a 16, and the pressure eases for Singapore. I was mentioning Singapore have changed their goalkeeper. I can tell you that Thailand haven't. So Wasana Setan still under the bar for them. Singapore, they've had to defend well. Taylor Liu did really well in the first half. Felicia Lay, what a start to the second half. And Thailand couldn't keep that one in play, so it is now, sorry, Singapore couldn't keep it in play. It's Thailand's ball on the right-hand side. And just trying to call for a high press. Working hard in the forward line was Shuba. Shuba again. Comes across, but it's a good pass in the defensive line. Ananat, lovely awareness from her to feed it to Supanza. Those two have played a lot of games together, and the ball played out wide that time. Just a little bit too much on it from Arucha. Arucha, just 20 years of age, making her debut tonight for Thailand. Actually, 3 players for Thailand making their debut. Oh, dear me. That was a nasty, nasty blow on Cheryl Chia. Ananat, don't think meant it at all. It just came up off the stick. And Cheryl Chia, after a blow like that, just getting up. That is incredible. And she's even directing traffic. Well, take a bow, Cheryl Chia. She had her 50th cap back in 2022. So one of the experienced campaigners, they wouldn't want to lose her. Ananat again, feeding that through a gap, but there was no Thai player on that line. Cheryl Chia was one of those that played in the Hong Kong Invitational tournament that's really growing quite a reputation. That's a good ball forward again. Cheer is there, but good stepping out coming from the defence. I think it was Supanza that stole it away then. It was indeed so experienced. Supanza Sumanzo comes from Sangkar in Thailand. Thrown to the air. We're into the final 3.5 minutes. Thailand, that was a heavy touch that time from Arucha. Singapore have possession back. Can they steal the lead before the final break? Good block again in the midfield by Thailand. Trying to find a way forward. It's a good pass into the midfield, but just a little bit soft with the pass that time from Cheryl Gia. Not surprised after the blow she just got, but anyway, here come Thailand once more. Natakan just playing it short. Ananat feeding it through the middle. That's a super pass again. Suapat. Oh, wow. It's going to be a free out. We've got another player getting struck that time. Well, you cannot be derogatory about the way these women play the game. They are tough, they are fit, and they are fearless. So 16 now for Singapore. Turning in the defence, Tiffany Ong playing her 50th game. And as I said, don't forget that she's played floorball for Singapore as well as ice hockey. And listen to the Thai support now as they find their voice. And I can tell you they're a fair way away from where we're sitting, but boy oh boy can they make some noise. I can remember at the SEA Games in Kuala Lumpur, the Thailand Ultras came to watch the women play. I think it was in the final match, and it was one of the most amazing scenes I've seen, where the female players went to the Ultras and they just sang to them for about 5 minutes, and the players just stood and took the recognition from the fans, and it was just an absolutely brilliant scene to witness. And you don't see scenes like that so much in hockey, but it was just beautiful. And the respect shown to the team as they, I think they won the silver medal there. Here comes Singapore now on the attack again. Good steal that time coming from Suapat. Great steal back though by Singapore. They're going to get a free hit. That was good work by Jolene. Felicia. Wow, she went infield and player was stationary waiting for the ball, which gave Thailand the chance to just steal it. It was good anticipation coming from Natakan. But unfortunately, Patricia was just stationary and needed to come towards the ball. That's ricocheted up off the Thai stick and it'll go over the line from the stick of Tanapon. Amani. Well, played it into the circuit. Was not a bad ball again. It was good defence from Thailand. Now they look to pass their way through the midfield. Just lost it for a second. Great work again in the midfield. And wide it comes over the side, and it's going to be Singapore's ball. That was really good play by Tiffany Ong, feeding it forward. Lovely little jink from Jolene. Jolene to the baseline, tries to find a foot. Over the baseline it goes. Well, they could have said it was deliberate, but they're saying it's a 16. Now, Felicia is telling the forwards to stay forward. Little mistake again in the midfield. Should be Singapore's ball, but well, the hooter has already gone. So that is the end of the third quarter. Plenty of action and plenty of players showing real mental toughness. But the score remains the same as it was 45 minutes ago. It is Singapore 0, Thailand 0. So both teams in their final huddle of this match. Both of them, of course, waiting for some words of wisdom from their coaches. can either of them snatch it in the last 15 minutes? You'd have to say that the way the game's been played, it would be almost sad to see one of them lose, because both have really committed themselves tonight. And if you're watching this for the first time, you should make sure you get down here and catch the second game on Wednesday. Of course, the men will be playing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and we'll be live streaming that as well if you're watching from anywhere else around the world. And then we'll be back with the women on Wednesday and the men on Thursday. So it will be Thailand to get the final quarter underway. I can tell you in the two tests they played back in 2019, Thailand won 1-0 in the first game, 5-0 in the second. Sure, there's a few players will remember that, and they would take a 1-0 win tonight. And again, just a reminder, just one place between these two in the FIH World Rankings. Singapore ranked 30th, Thailand 29th. And as I said before, some of that, unfortunately, is just the lack of games or the lack of opportunity to play games with world ranking points now given for every game that is played. So are we going to see someone come out on top? The temperature has cooled a little bit, almost to steal, but somehow the ball got through to Chenchira. Tried to play it forward for Natakorn. Well, it was Cheryl Chia who was coming across trying to steal that. She read the pass perfectly, but unfortunately just could not get the touch that Singapore needed. She's making a willing run forward. That was a clumsy tackle coming in that time from Thanapon, but, well, I thought it was. The umpires disagree and said it was a clean tackle. Well, certainly Diana Ong may agree with me rather than the umpire, as she took a tumble. She's been one of those that's worked hard for Singapore. In fact, everybody has worked hard for them. Good pick up again in the midfield. Too much on that. That won't be kept in play by Suapat. And the apology comes that time from Natakan. Well, tried to squeeze that one down the line, but too narrow from Sophia, captain of Singapore, and she was a little frustrated with herself. She knows how important possession's going to be in this final 15 minutes. Ananat feeds it out wide onto the right. Angled towards the circle. Should be collected by Singapore, and it is. Carried out of defence, but look at the determination coming back to win it back for them. Good work again by Sudarat. Anna Ong, I don't think, realised Sudarat was coming after it. So 12.5 minutes remaining. And if they've slowed a little bit, I'm not surprised, because it is a very warm evening. Amani collects, good touch again from Suapat. Carried forward this time, good running. Kunjira slipping it wide, a very important touch. Brilliant defence, Felicia. And she plays it forward. And a heavy touch, but kept possession well in the end. And that will go out of play. Well, Felicia with an outstanding piece of defensive work. Made her debut at the SEA Games in 2023, Felicia, and I'm sure she wants to go back to the SEA Games in Thailand later this year. Good work again defensively by Singapore, stealing it away. Sudarat trying to bulldoze her way through. Strong tackle comes in. Singapore get the decision and get the chance to just breathe easy for a few minutes, or a few seconds rather. And it looks to me as if Taylor Liu is back in goal for this final quarter. Great run along the baseline, but then used the stick to obstruct the ball and obstruct the defender from stealing the ball. So that is why we've got a free hit. Amani Tries to play it early. Good closing down again coming from Arucha. Still with Thailand. Goes infield. Ananat now. Shape to go left. Chased back. Played it wide and unfortunately just went behind the run of Arucha and she couldn't keep it in play. So just the free hit was going to be taken from the wrong position. Nice breeze just blowing across the field of play. Turned over again cheaply. And that must be frustrating for Henry Wong when they do that after good work. It's going to dribble in. Oh, no. Just wide. Well, Kunjira, I think she thought it was going in. Otherwise, she may well have slid in and tried to just get a tap. Or a little poke in. Thailand, well, they've hit the post twice now and had one dribble past the post. Up it goes, top of the D. That's a penalty corner off the stick of Felicia. She'll be upset by that after great defensive work a few minutes ago. Penalty corner number 6 for Thailand. Is this the moment where they break the deadlock? Sapansa has come forward. I think she's telling them exactly what she's planning to do, pointing towards the goal. Natakan has gone to the baseline, and I wonder whether Sapansa is going to aim for Natakan running in after she's injected it. That's what the pointing was about. We'll wait and see, but that may well be the plan this time around. Sapansa at the first battery. It goes to her. Oh, she flicked it this time and got plenty on it, but it went very, very high over the crossbar. So Singapore play it out of defence. This time they managed to keep possession. Evadni did well on the far side. And the leading run. It's good stop, good work being done by Shuba. Is it a long corner? It is a long corner for Singapore. So the Thai support urging their team to defend valiantly now. Singapore with their tails up, coming across. Tiffany Ong played it out wide, wanted the return pass, didn't get it. Now it's the free hit has actually gone Singapore's way. So played back into the defensive line. Good pressure being applied by Kunjira. And it's worked because it's turned over top of the circle. In fact, there was a foul out wide on the right-hand side. Ananat over the ball. 8 minutes remaining. We're approaching the halfway stage of the final quarter. Can Thailand find a winner? Lovely little spin that time. Drilled to the back post, and the touch comes from Taylor Liu. Had to be sure she got that one away. I think she saw out of the corner of her eye the yellow shirt advancing. Well, the foot there. And unfortunately, I think it came off the foot of Kwek Xiao Chin. So penalty corner number 7 now for Thailand. And it just looks to me as if the Singapore players, the amount of effort they've put in is beginning to take its toll. Some of them looking a little bit tired. This will be a good workout. 2 tournaments in quick succession, or games up in Hong Kong, and then now 2 tests here in Singapore. And if they can get some more games, of course, before the end of the year, just build that fitness up for the SEA Games. Sapansa waits, leaning on a stick at the top of the circle. Natakan on the baseline, waiting for the whistle. The whistle comes. She swivels, plays it out to the top of the circle. Supanza is blocked by Singapore. Good block just ahead of the penalty spot. Another penalty corner. Well, it was good defence initially by Singapore. Umpire getting Natakon to get down to the baseline to inject immediately. And Natakon placing it almost like a golfer places their ball on a tee. Oh, not a very fast injection. Supanza, it slipped behind her, and a great block again coming out. I think that was Diana. It'll be a long corner now for Thailand, but the pressure is still on the defence of Singapore. Into the circle, wide it goes, but powerful strike. Natakon again got a little bit of space on the left-hand side of the circle and was allowed to carry the ball in. Liu threw herself to her left, but it had already gone past her. And here they come again. It's ricocheted up off the defensive stick. Good save from Liu. It's not gone out of play. Liu recovered well, though. Covered a near post, and the rebound shot went out. So 6.5 minutes remaining. Singapore, at the moment, you'd have to say, clinging on under relentless pressure from Thailand. They've won it again in the midfield. Short pass coming that time from Chenjira. Comes back to Chenjira again. Nice little touch. Took around the defender first to the baseline. Tried to play it in. Penalty corner. Wow. Thailand, you just wonder the weight of penalty corners, but they've yet to convert one. This will be penalty corner number 9. Once again, Natakon will go to the baseline. Once again, Supansa Sumanso will wait at the top of the circle. Ananat is to her right. Will they try a variation involving Ananat again? Natakon is just leaning over a stick, then she's swinging it around as if it was a microphone. Just waiting for the Singapore defence to get inside the goal. Quicker injection this time. Supanza plays it low, deflected out off the stick of Amani. Long corner. There was no danger as it went up off the stick that time. That was what the Thais were asking, but the umpire very clear that it went up and there was no danger. So can they get the ball out of defence without causing themselves more grief? It was carried out that time by Patricia. And we're going to get the first card of the game. It's a yellow card. And I think that was issued to Suapat. No, yes, Suapat has got a yellow card. That's 5 minutes. And there are 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. So Thailand will be down to 10 for the remainder of the match, all but 40 seconds. So now Singapore have a player advantage. The question is, can they make it count? Natakon trying to feed it to Ananat, but unfortunately just got deflected. And we've got Felicia has gone down. And is it cramp? I think it might be. Or was it her ankle? No, it looks like it's just a cramp. Well, I say just a cramp. A cramp is incredibly painful when it hits you, and you just do not know what is going to happen. I think the umpire wanting Felicia removed from the field of play so they can get on with the game. Not a lot of sympathy from the officials. The physio now coming on. And Singapore ready to bring on a substitute if they do take her off. She's crawling now to the side or the baseline. But of course, we'll have to get her away from the baseline because that's a danger area. And I think that's what the umpire's just saying. Don't want players walking behind the goal. Certainly not with Thailand in their attacking mood that they're in at the moment. So Kwek plays it square in the defensive line for Singapore. They've struggled to get it past that forward line, and again they have as two. Ananat feeds it to the top of the circle. Natakan trying to turn. Good defensive work being done that time by Kwek. But it will be another penalty corner. Penalty corner number 10 for Thailand. So they are a player down, remember, but still doing plenty of attacking. And the biggest problem for Singapore is they cannot seem to get the ball out to their midfield. So as soon as they win the ball defensively, Thailand taking up good positions, anticipating the passes and cutting off that supply line. So Supanza is at the top of the circle. We've got a different injector this time around. I think you'll find it's Kunjira. So Supanza looking to her left this time. There might be, again, a variation from Thailand. Different style of injection comes to Supanza. Up it goes, desperately trying to play that one in was Ananat, but it was lifted up off the Singapore stick, created the danger as Ananat came in swinging. So Kunjira runs across to get the ball. The umpire's telling her to get across and take it quickly, but there was no ball, and there was no ball person supplying a ball, so she had to go and get the ball herself. Clock, of course, has stopped. So Kunjira walks in, plays it to top of the circle, drilled towards goal. It struck the defender, still alive. Good save from Taylor Liu. Supanza plays it wide, great opportunity. There is the goal. Well, it was brilliant awareness by Supanza. And the umpire is being surrounded by Singapore players. Thai players retreating back into their own half. I think it's Natakon that got the final touch and played the ball in. And you can understand why Singapore are frustrated. It was a brilliant pass, though, by Supanza. Well, the umpires are conferring, so maybe the goal will not stand. We'll have to wait and see. Well, they are deep in conversation. Singapore will be hoping that they fall down on their side. Thailand were all back inside their own half, except for the captain, who you can bet as soon as the decision, if it goes against them, will go forward and want an explanation. Ananat is now beginning to turn around and go back to her own half. I think she feels that it is going to be a goal. And the goal is going to stand. So Thailand take the lead with 4 and a bit minutes left. Well, Singapore with the player advantage. Eventually the pressure told.
Scoring for Thailand, number 11, Natakan Onjai.
So now Singapore have 4 minutes in which to try and find an equaliser. Otherwise the two-test series will start the way it did in 2019 with a 1-0 win to Thailand. That is, if it stays like this, Thailand may go in search of a second, but I would think with 10 players on the field of play, 1-0 up with less than 5 minutes to go, you would just try and sit on that and hang on. Good work being done that time by Tiffany Ong. Singapore crowd urging their players on to keep possession and get the ball forward. It comes wide to Kwek. Tried to pierce the gap, but it was again intercepted. Jinjira plays it into the midfield. Ananat, just a sway of the hips from her. Comes out wide again. Good position taken up that time by Trinita. Pass down the line is a good one. Manages to find Kunjira. And the free hit goes the way of Thailand. 3 minutes remaining. Into the circle. Jinjira spins. Good defence though. Stick low down. but not cleared effectively. It's still with Thailand. Comes back to Genjira. Goes wide this time from Songkran. Carried forward again, but held up. Thanapon, happy to keep possession, goes back to Supanza. A little bit of space now. Genjira feeding it down the line, and look at that willing lead. Really good one in behind the defence again from Natakon. I don't know if there is a player of the match in this game, but Natakon would have to be a contender. The amount of work she's got through. And that's just without the goal that she managed to score as well. And Ananat just questioning one of the decisions. And I'm sure some of that might be just to kill a bit of time, although the clock has actually stopped. We've got under 2.5 minutes left. And Singapore, well, they'll be disappointed, but I would have thought there's a lot of positives for Henry Wong. The way they've stuck at it, there's very little between these two teams. Nice turn in the midfield. Good work being done by Felicia. She gets the free hit. The crowd are not happy. They wanted an advantage played there. Now it goes square in the defensive line. Played up through the middle. And wasn't brought under control, unfortunately, by Jolene, who is another one for Singapore who had a really big game, in my opinion. Comes wide again to Genjira. She tries to go to the air, didn't really get underneath it. And turned over that time by Kwek. Natakon feeds it wide to Ananat. Natakon couldn't get inside the circle to get the shot away. Great defence again by Singapore. And player that got the blow to, I think it was to the hand, or was it to the knee, is gone down. Or maybe we got another cramp. Well, I would suggest that the players have covered a fair amount of ground tonight. And it is very humid conditions. Temperature is cooled. There's a nice breeze, but it's still very humid. Sumanzo is on halfway, just below our commentary position, and she's shouting instructions to her teammates. They've still got just under a minute to beat 10 players. So incredibly, they took the lead while they only had 10 players on the field. Well, Singapore need to get on with things quickly, but there was another ball on the pitch, much to their frustration. Clock continues to count down. They've only gone laterally across the field of play when they need to go forward. Try to play it forward. That's a good ricochet for them now in the midfield. Still going, really determined run. The crowd making plenty of noise. Into the circle it goes. Out comes the goalkeeper and smashed into the pads. And it's a penalty corner for Singapore. Wow. 43 seconds left. Can they convert? This is only their third penalty corner of the match. And to me, that was really good work out wide again by Felicia. She is one tough combatant and does not give up until the final whistle. Listen to the crowd here. Can Singapore get an equaliser right at the end of this game? Hopeway will be the player to inject. Tiffany Ong is at the first battery in her 50th match for Singapore. They go to the second battery. Slip to Tiffany Ong. Up it goes off the defender. It'll be another penalty corner. Penalty corner number 4. Well, I think just conferring, but to me there was no doubt that was a penalty corner. Came off the Thai player, up into the air, created danger. So Tiffany Ong again at the first battery alongside her. Kwek Xiao Chan. They go to Tiffany Ong directly this time, flicks low and hard. And it's another penalty corner. Well, initially not given by the umpire closest to the goal. And that is a green card issued now to the captain, Ananat. So they've got 11 players back, but then Ananat said something to the umpire that he didn't like. So she's got a 2-minute green card and will take no further part in the game with 28 seconds remaining. Again, Tiffany Ong lines up. Alongside her is Kwek. It goes to Kwek this time. No, it doesn't. It goes to Ong, wider angle. Closed down brilliantly by Thailand. Oh, another penalty corner has been issued. Well, I think it's Supanzo has been penalised. But I got to be honest, I thought that was stick. Supanza came out really well, but it is a penalty corner to Singapore. Doesn't matter what I think, the umpire's closest. So the big question now, it comes out again. Carried out wide, it's a misdirect that time. Thailand just need to clear it wherever they can. Instead, they're going on the attack. There's a good run through the middle, coming from Songkran if she can find it. Carries the ball forward, into the circle it goes. Penalty corner, Thailand. 1 second left on the clock. And Singapore are going to have to defend a penalty corner after having just won 4 of their own in quick succession and unable to convert. Well, this would be salt in the wound if Thailand managed to convert this one. Their 12th penalty corner of the match. They haven't converted any so far tonight, Thailand. And I tell you, 2-0 would be a bitter pill to swallow if you were Singapore. This will definitely be the last play of the game, unless it's a re-award with the penalty corner. Everybody but the goalkeeper inside the 23 for Thailand. Whistle goes. The injection comes. Supanza is there. Deflected, saved, and obstruction is the call by the umpire. So that is the end of the match. And it is Thailand who are victorious. And Singapore, not surprisingly, some of the players dropping to their haunches. They battled so hard and they gave everything physically and mentally. But in the end, Thailand just managing to sneak a victory. After a penalty corner, which came out, was played in by Supanzo, who found Natakan in space on the right-hand side, and she managed to squeeze the ball in the 56th minute, which means the final score here is Thailand 1, Singapore 0.
That brings